Polio has once again reared its head, with health experts urging unvaccinated Americans to get inoculated. After decades off our collective radar, polio has once again reared its head, with health experts urging unvaccinated Americans to get inoculated against the disease.
Never have guessed it in a million years that it would pop up again.
Officials in New York State confirm wastewater samples collected in Orange County contain the paralyzing and potentially deadly virus. Those tests ordered after a 20-year-old man in nearby Rockland County tested positive last month. Experts fear hundreds more are infected.
So I would assume that we have people that are positive from it.
This latest strain also detected in the United Kingdom and Israel. For decades, polio has only been active overseas, namely in Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Once it gets into your body, it can cause fevers, flu-like symptoms, body aches. But in some people, they actually get a paralysis.
Officials noting the New York man who tested positive last month never received the widely available vaccine, a 4-dose regimen recommended for kids under 6. His case marking the first in the U.S. since 2013. The last time a case originated here, 1979. How insane is it, in your mind, that we are talking about polio in 2022?
This is one of those viruses, one of those diseases that we were so close to eradicating. I think what you're seeing are some of the worst repercussions of this vaccine hesitancy.
Now, amid the COVID pandemic and an outbreak of monkeypox, experts are begging Americans to check their immunity to another virus, one long thought to be behind us. And speaking of monkeypox, that's also obviously a top health concern this morning as well. Now declared a national health emergency with vaccines in short supply also in that case. And here in Illinois, new overnight, kids at a daycare in the Champaign-Urbana area are now being screened for possible exposure after a staff member tested positive. Peter?
All right, COVID, monkey.
This is just a simple box of aluminum foil. But did you know that aluminum foil is made out of bauxite? And did you know that Jamaica is one of the top producers of bauxite? Now, bauxite mining has been going on for decades now in Jamaica, so much so that it's been causing environmental damage to the country that is felt all over the country today. Now, I want you to pay attention to the white stuff that you see on top of the river here. All of that white stuff is the caustic acid. Now, anybody will know what caustic acid is. It means it burns through skin and bone. That is what's in. Now, as you can see in this video by the chief and the Maroons of their compound, and of the Cockpit Country. Cockpit Country is where over 40% of the water system in Jamaica originates. Every river, every spring, every stream comes from this area. So if this area is poisoned and is mined from bauxite mining, it will literally destroy all of the waterways and no water will be safe to drink in Jamaica. Currently, you are watching the waters being poisoned right in front of you. All of that stuff, that yellow chemical color you see, is from the caustic acid soda that is being released from the mining that is going on in bauxite. Now let me translate for the Rasta. This is a map of St. Catherine Parish in Jamaica. Here is where Linstead is, as you can see, and where Bugwalk is, where all the poison and the caustic acid. This is the Rio Cobre. Here, this is Spanish Town, and this is Portmore, two of the major cities in Jamaica. This river runs from here all the way there, from the Cockpit Country, going all the way into all of these cities. This is what he's referring to. You are drinking the acidic water, the poisoned water is going to all the major cities. This is what he's referring to. Let's zoom in a little.
Also like that idea of thinking, well, there are only a few 100,000 fields out there. Now, I don't find one that I like, and maybe I can design one for myself. So I've chosen to follow an interest that I've been developing over many years because of my work abroad as a newspaper correspondent. Years ago, during the 1980s, when Central America was caught up in violent strife. I was posted there as a New York Times correspondent, and I spent a lot of time covering the terrible civil war that had dragged on for decades in Guatemala, and also many years covering the war between Contras and Sandinistas in Nicaragua. Both of these countries were in terrible upheaval and violent conflict during all the time that I was there. And naturally, after a period of filing stories of day-to-day news and battles and chronicles of the poverty and the underdevelopment in these countries, I began to ask myself why this happened. Why were these countries so poor and so violent? I began looking into their histories, and I realized that in both cases, these were countries that seemed at one point to have been on the way to prosperity and stability and democracy. But they were forced off that path, in both cases, by interventions from the United States. In 1910, the greatest leader Nicaragua ever had was overthrown by the United States because he wasn't cooperating with American mining and banking and lumber companies. And then nearly half a century later, in 1954, the first democratic government Guatemala ever knew was overthrown in a coup organized by the United States because that government was not cooperating with the United Fruit Company. I actually wound up writing books about both of those countries, about Nicaragua and about Guatemala. Later on, when I was posted in Istanbul, I got very interested in Iran, another country that's in upheaval and has been for many years. As I tried to find out why Iran was in this position of underdevelopment and tyranny, I learned also that there was a democracy there at one time. Actually, it's hard today to imagine using the word Iran and the word democracy in the same sentence. But there was a time when those two words went very closely together in the late 1940s and early 1950s. But in 1953, the democratic government of Iran was overthrown in a coup organized by the United States. And ever since then, that country has been in one form or another of
Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Kadar Bond of GMS Gulf Coast. I'd like to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah, Quadash. Double honors are given unto the apostle elders of Great Millstone, men who have labored and suffered in this truth for over 30 plus years, making their lives and their bodies a living sacrifice. I also like to send a shalom to the hopeful elect, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, the speckled birds scattered throughout the four winds of planet Earth, north, south, east, and west, which consist of men, women, and children in that order. I also like to send a shalom to the various GMS camps, elders, and heads. And last but not least, I'd like to send a shalom to any of you Akim, not named GMS, but walking one body, one spirit in Yahweh Shai, teaching this 100% truth with all truth, faith, and sincerity as taught to us all by the apostle elders of Great Millstone. To you all, shalom. And subject matter is this evil ruler. You know, either gonna go along with the agenda, with the status quo, or you're gonna be, overthrown. You're gonna allow our businessmen into your world, your country, so that we can rob you. And when I say we, I'm talking about the evil rulers of this world, starting with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You're going to allow us into your country and allow us to steal, rob, take, and literally just strip you of your natural resources, all that is valuable to you, from your livelihood all the way to your morals. This wicked ruler. And we need saving from this wicked ruler. We so-called blacks, Latinos, Native and Seminole Americans, we need saving from this man, from the powers that be. We need it. Yes, indeed. There is no way in the world that we are going to save ourselves. If that was the case, we'd have done it by now. So it's painfully evident that it's not within our powers. It's not within our powers. Those means are far outside the grasp of our control to change our situation. The only way we can change our situation is to return back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and obey what the Lord had set forth for us through our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, going all the way back to Moses as well, and Noah, the prophets of old, But like I said, the subject matter is this wicked ruler. We've seen a few clips there. Polio is making a comeback, a strong resurgence. And that was something that was supposed to have been eradicated back in the early 1900s. He even had one of the presidents, I believe his name was President Roosevelt, Theodore. Was it Theodore? Not Teddy. I know it wasn't Teddy Roosevelt. It was the second Roosevelt. Anyway, those Roosevelts was cousins. And it was during the Second World War. I think it was Theodore Roosevelt. I think his wife's name was Eleanor. Anyway, he had a case of polio. They always situated his public appearances in such a way where they was trying to hide the fact that he was weak. But the scripture said that that one people would be stronger than the other. Just roughly paraphrasing, going into Genesis where the Lord has spoke to was answering Rebecca about the quarrel that was going on in her womb between Jacob and Esau. And Esau has proven to be weaker than us. So we know that by the downfall of the Israelites, that it was orchestrated by the Lord for our disobedience. And we have been placed under this wicked ruler, who's poisoning the earth. Down there in Jamaica, they poisoning the water. They down there mining a certain element to make aluminum foil. And the byproduct is an acid, a caustic acid. And I've worked in refineries for years, Exxon Mobil in Bossilouga, Texas, Exxon in El Paso, Marathon in Texas City, Exxon in Chalmette, in East New Orleans, the list goes on. And I've worked around these caustic materials, these caustic elements, and you have to go through safety council and learn about these things so that so that you can protect yourself on the job site, so they'll better protect themselves from lawsuits later on down the road, But nevertheless, I know of these agents. And mind you, you heard the names that I mentioned, Exxon. These are rich American and British, because you have BP Petroleum as well. These are rich American and British businessmen that go throughout the world seeking to strip the lands of the people who live there of their natural resources, to move in with their factories, to move in with their companies, and pay below minimum wage to the people, through a puppet dictator. And if you don't do so, they overthrow those countries. It's like the man spoke of in the last video you seen there with Nicaragua and with the deal that was going on between the Sandinistas and the it slipped my mind, but this was during the 80s. A big drug deal went down. The Iran, the gun deal that President Reagan got caught up in, his administration got caught up in, the guns and the dope. But anyway, these countries were overthrown by the U.S., this wicked ruler who goes throughout the planet, seeking whom he can devour. The spiritual counterpart, the fleshly counterpart to the spiritual demon, Satan, who walk up in the flesh, which his biblical nationality is Esau, Edom, otherwise known as the so-called white man, you know. But I wanted to pull a definition real quick. Arrested development definition and meaning, because these countries that they went into, they were seeming to be on to a path of prosperity, you know, living good, living decent, you know. But these businessmen, these wicked rulers pushed in and seen all the resources that they had and wish and set to establish their wickedness, their form of democracy over these people, which when you speak of, you know, these are the northern nations, you know, arrested development. Let me see. Let me get it right here. Let me see real quick. What does arrested development mean? The meaning of arrested development. The term arrested development refers to the stoppage of physical development, emotional. Look at this bullshit. Slocky. What does the term arrested development mean? According to Psychology Today, Collins English Dictionary, and emotional intelligent training, the term arrested development refers to the stoppage of physical development, emotional development, or mental development before reaching adulthood. This abnormal condition also results with someone being struck in a certain emotional or mental level of development, and can be the reason why some adults act like children emotionally or mentally. In the field of medicine, this is considered a development disorder that may result in a lack of intelligence or decreased mental status. This plateau of development can be the result of trauma or neglect, and can be a form of mental disorder consisting of severe mental impairment, usually caused by an abnormal state in you see it there. When people are subject to trauma as kids or young adults, this can cause the abnormalcy and onset of arrested development in their psychological development, causing delays among peers and sometimes an infection. You see the word. It says symptoms may include regression, being struck at a certain development stage, and more. Let's go to another one. Oh, sure. Let's go to another one. If it let us out of here, there we go. Let's see. I think it's going to say the same thing pretty much. It says now medical physical development that is not complete. Psychological development that is not complete. It's a physical and a psychological development that is not complete. It says these examples have been automatically selected and may contain sensitive content that does not reflect the opinions of policies of Collins or its partners or its parents, like your company, HarperCollins. Okay. Rest of development. From, let's see, read about. Anyway. Provide natural language speech. Anyway. I'm going to try one more. Real quick. Do we get on? Abnormal state which development stopped prematurely. Arrested development, an abnormal state in which development has stopped prematurely. And we're going to liken this on to the growth of these nations, these so-called third world nations, which mainly consist of Israelites, which mainly consist of Israelites, a premature, where it says an abnormal state in which development has stopped prematurely. And how has it stopped? By where these rich businessmen, these wicked rulers, sending in their cronies and their flunkies to stop their development of nations that will probably otherwise flourish or be well off without the outside interference of the American government, of the so-called white man. You got poisoned water there in Jamaica. Killing the fish, killing the food, a source of food supply, fish, drinking water. How long do you think they're going to last without clean drinking water? You're down there drinking caustic water that can actually filter into your body. And the caustic also causes cancer as well. It's cancerous as well. Being able to burn through your flesh and into your bones. And these people who have pushed in on these countries like Jamaica and Nicaragua, and throughout the whole planet Earth, they know that the trauma and the damage that they bring. They know. But they don't care. It goes without saying. They don't give a damn. It's about the dollar. They can care less about the people. I want to pull a few scripts here. Let's see. I want to pull a few scripts real quick. Because, see, that's war on the Lord's people as well. That perpetual hatred. Just move in. But we know that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Like it real quick. I'm going to grab that. 9 and 24. We know that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. This is Job 9 and 24, and it reads, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And, that's a rhetorical question. If it's not this so-called white man, if it's not this man who dominates the news, especially when it comes to foreign affairs, Nancy Pelosi, she's a so-called white woman. Joe Biden, he's a so-called white man. The president of France, he's a so-called white man. Putin, he's a so-called white man. Zelensky, he's a so-called white man. And on and on and on. But we know by way of Psalms, 83, that the so-called white man is not our only enemy. It reads right here, Psalms 83, it says, and I'm going to start at the top, and this reads, keep not thou silent, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, arrested development, and that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Edom, starting with the white man, and the Ishmaelites, those so-called sand niggas, it's like so-called Arabs, Moab, so-called Chinese, and Koreans, and the Hagarenes, and the Africans, Gabal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistines, and the inhabitants of Tyre. They're all joined together to keep the children of Israel from becoming the Lord's people again. There was all their part of their little master plan, drop the little quarrels that they have amongst one another, and let's focus our attention on the Lord's people. you know, and it worked for a period of time. Let me see. Let me read this here. Many people shall go and say, and come and let us. Let me see. That ain't what I want. I wanted to get into the fact that we need saving from this man, from this society, this wicked rulership that we happen to be under. And it's not a happenstance. It was prophesied that we would have to, that we would have to go under this man's rulership. Let's see, is it 37? Psalm 37. This is Psalms 37, and it reads at the top, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as green herb." And you have to go out there and mow that grass every once in a while, because guess what? It'll get out of hand. Snakes and all kind of critters and whatnot can hide themselves amongst that. And this man has grown up just like some wild weed, either weeds, good and medicinal forms, but everything that this man put his hands on, he turned it to be wicked, But like the verse said, they shall soon be cut down like grass, Because the grass, if you let your grass overgrow, to the place look raggedy, it looks beaten down. It looks horrible. And this man has been in rulership for quite some time now, and the whole world looks horrible. You got acid rivers in Jamaica. You got Polo making a comeback with all these other different variants of the CV Axel 19. Because they have what you call patents on these different diseases and whatnot. And you can look this up. This is not just idle talk. This is real talk. You can look this up. Go look up the formation of AIDS. Go look up the formation of Ebola. You'll see that they have patents. That means someone has created, someone owns that. Yes. It says, verse 3, "Trust in the Lord Yahweh and do good. So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed." Yeah. It says, verse 4, "Delight yourselves also in the Lord Yahweh, and he shall give thee the desires of thy heart. Commit thy way unto the Lord Yahweh, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass." He shall bring it to pass. What's this? The hell that we're going through. Because sooner than later, Abaratazar, Lord willing, Yahweh Shai is coming back here. His father, Yahweh, is going to give him the green light to come back and put everything back in its proper order. He's going to trim, he's going to cut the grass. Evildoers going to be taken out of, they're going to be taken out of rulership. This is Psalms 27, and reads, "The Lord Yahweh is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" And the Lord didn't put a heart of fear in the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. Lord willing, we are that number, beginning with the apostle elders on down to brothers such as myself. We don't fear anything that this man does, because we know that it's all been ordained by the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to do these things. All we have to do is obey and practice the law, statutes, commandments, and stay within the guidelines in which the Lord has set for us to the best of our ability. And Lord willing, we'll be of that number that's going to be saved up out of this. So we're not to fear none of this when we know that the Lord is behind this. And all we have to do is just do what we are commanded to do. And he's doing this because guess what? It's righteous what he's doing and judging this place and bringing on the evils into this place, because this place has soiled in evil. The evil man runs the world. So it's only just that the evil man be punished and all of those who follow him. So we're not afraid of the things that are coming down the pipe, simply because we understand that the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is in control of all. So we don't put our trust in men, we put our trust in the Lord. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord Yahweh is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, come upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumble and fail. Yep. Though an host shall encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should arise against me, in this will I be confident. Yeah, we're going to be confident that the Lord has us. He got our back. Verse 4, one thing have I desired of the Lord Yahweh, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord Yahweh all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord Yahweh, and to inquire in his temple. For in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock. Yeah. And now shall my head be lifted up above my enemies around about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifice of joy. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto the Lord Yahweh. You dang right. Because we need saving from this clown. And this proud, cave maggot, knuckle dragging cave maggot. Who has no moral parameters, no moral paralysis, no moral compass about himself. Anything goes. And wickedness here. Because he know through the wickedness he can rule. Being he's the king of wickedness. Being he's the king of wickedness. Let me see, I got nothing I want to get. Let's see. Real quick. Don't want to keep, This is Psalms 140. Start at the top and it reads, Deliver me, O Lord, Yahweh, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man. Yeah, we need saving from this man. Anytime a company can come in and move into your country and poison the water behind mining, stripping the land of his nutrients. This man don't respect nothing. He don't respect the land Sabbath. He just go and just kill, destroy. Created to take peace from the earth. Life. He don't believe in life. The trees, talking about he goes and burns down half of a third of the rainforest down there in South America. The so-called lungs of the world. This man don't respect nothing. Yeah, we got to be saved from this man because the power is not within our hands to do so. But back at the top, deliver me, O Lord, back in Psalms 140 and 1. Deliver me, O Lord Yahweh, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine a mischief in their hearts. Continually are they gathered together for war. Continually. Wasn't the sword given to that beast that rode upon that red horse? Real quick. Let's go there real quick. Revelation 6. I think it's Revelation 6 and 4. And verse 4, and it reads, it's Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat upon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And here they is now gathering up for the third goddamn family fight to kill one another, to take peace from the earth. To take peace from the earth. And we know who he is. It ain't hard. He ain't hard to find. His track record show him. It point right at him. He like a bullseye. Back in Psalms 140, it says, which imagine mischief in their heart continually are they gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Otter's poison is under their lips. Selah. Verse 4, it says, keep me, O Lord Yahweh, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who has proposed to overthrow my goings. The proud had hid a snare for me and cords, all kind of things. I'm talking about these dang, these resurgence of these pox, And if you had a way of eradicating them, why would you have a center where you go and house these things? You understand what I'm saying? You see, if you just take the initiative, Lord willing, to think a little deeper into stuff and not be such a shallow thinker, you'll see, why would you keep something like that around? Anyway, it says the proud had hid a snare for me and cords. They have spread the net by the wayside. They have set gins for me. Say, La. I said unto the Lord, Yahweh, thou art my God, my power. Hear the voice of my supplication, O Lord Yahweh. Hear my begging, Lord. We pray that this make it to the Lord's throne. That the angels deliver this message to the Lord, Yeah. Another one real quick. I'm finna close out. Psalms is full of good Psalms, Let's see. This is Psalms 109, because we need saving from this wicked man, from this wicked rulership. It says, hold not thy peace. Psalms 109, start at the top. Hold not thy peace, O power of my praise. For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They compassed me about also with words of hatred, and fought against me without cause. For my love, they are my adversaries, but I give myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good, and hated for my love. Set thou a wicked man over me, and let Satan stand at the right hand. When he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayers become sin. Yeah. It says, let his days be few, and let another take his office. And that's about to happen. Let his days be few, because see, the triumphing of the wicked is but for a moment. It's just for the season. And our people, 2/3 of our people, believe in this man so strongly, they'll go with anything that he say, that he promotes on that damn television. All right, make sure you go down to your local physician, your local doctor, your local lawyer, and sign up and get your jump shots. If anything happens out here, weather-wise or destructive-wise, make sure that you call FEMA. Our people trust in oppression. They trust in this. It says, let his days be few, and let another take his office. Let the children of the fatherless and his wife a widow. Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. Yeah, and we starting to see that. We see every time you exit off the interstate into these little towns and whatnot, you see these vagabonds everywhere. And righteously so, because Esau, through the spiritual confines of Cain, was a vagabond. We look at how he was ran out of Mount Seir, prophesied to be running around the world, confiscating lands and identities of people, renaming the land after himself and this and that and the third, as though he always been there. Then he put in his movies and whatnot, like he is everywhere. He's the people who was oppressed. He's the people who are oppressing the people. Where everybody else at? This clown so damn proud that and to cast such a strong spell over our people, they can't even see that when you look at old movies with Charleston Heston and them, the Hebrews and the Egyptians were the same goddamn race of people. They were both white. That wasn't the case in real life. But nevertheless, let's keep going. It says, let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. Let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places. Let the extortioner catch all that he had, and let the stranger spoil his labor. So let there be none to extend mercy unto him, neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children. Yeah, it's going to pour him double to him. He that showed no mercy shall be shown no mercy. We see the pictures of books of Without Sanctuary, you know what I'm saying? Gutting Jake women, cutting them hanging them upside down, cutting out the child, stomping the child. You know what I'm talking about? Just heartless, merciless foolishness, But it's coming back on them. Because, see, truth be told, there are people who can't take what we took. You know what I'm saying? They can't take it. If they had to walk a day in our shoes, they'll go mad, and you'll see so-called white men and white women jumping off bridges and buildings all day long. It'll look like that movie The Happening with what his name, Mark Wahlberg, when them folk was just jumping off buildings and whatnot. Yeah, that's what would be happening if they had to walk a few feet in our shoes. Let's a mile. Verse 13, it says, let his prosperity be cut off, and in the generations following, let their name be blotted out. Let it be blotted out. Salakia, the grandbaby in the background. Anyway, there's one or two more I wanted to. Matter of fact, when we take over, when the Lord has set up his righteous throne, when the Israelites, the co-inheritors of the kingdom of heaven, first and foremost with Yahweh Shai, who've been given the reins of power by his father Yahweh. When the kingdom of heaven has been set up and Yahweh Shai is ruling, and it reads, it says, when the righteous, Proverbs 29 and 2, it says, I'm going to start at the beginning. It says, he that being often reproved harden his neck shall suddenly be destroyed and without remedy. Ultimately, in Obadiah, 1:18, I believe, these people are going to be put down permanently. Going to be gathered up and rounded up and destroyed without remedy. There ain't going to be no coming back. There ain't going to be no rising up to rule over the cities and oppress the people, and none of that. It's over. It's over. It's going to be like flushing down the toilet good crap. It's gone. You ain't going to see that no more. You won't never see that crap come back no more. And that's what it's likened on to these wicked rulers. But now, verse 2, the point, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So, even though they say that Israel, those so-called Israelites, because they call themselves Israelis, were given that land in, 1948, 47, by way of the Balfour Declaration. That was prophecy being acted out, and the world has got worse since then. So we know from that fact alone that those are not the people that the scriptures is talking about, the righteous. We know that that's not the people. Let's see, I got one more. I'm going to close this out. I ain't going to keep going. No. Let's see. This is Proverbs chapter 10 and verse. This is Proverbs 10 and 28, and it reads, the hope of the righteousness shall be gladness, but the expectation of wicked shall perish. Hey, it's all throughout the scripture. And I wonder who this is talking about, because, see, if you talk 2/3 of our people, everybody can be saved. So who is this talking about? Anyway, verse 29, it says, the way of the Lord Yahweh is strength to the upright, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. So who is this talking about? And this is a question posed to anyone that might come across this video that's a scoff or a mocker. Who is this talking about, since the Lord loves everybody? Verse 30, point, the righteous shall never be removed, And that's going into the nation of Israel by way of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, Yahushua being sitting on the throne, the kingdom of heaven. It says, the righteousness shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not inhabit the earth. And that goes back into Obadiah 1 and 18. You're going to be exterminated, rounded up, burned. What it says, Jacob a flame, and Ephraim, Ephraim is a fire, and Esau shall be stubble. You're gonna be the remnants of the coals that's sitting, like you burnt some wood and whatnot. You got the stubble at the end of the fire. That's what they're gonna be. Yeah, that's just what they're gonna be. Anyway, and everyone gonna rejoice. I'm gonna close out with this. It's like it. Didn't mean to make this so long. This is Isaiah 14. It's starting at the top, and it reads, for the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers, which are the Hebrew Israelites, that may look like these other nations, not knowing who they are, because they may look like the people of their mother, but they have the spirit of Jacob. They agree with these scriptures, like it says in, I think it's Romans 8 and 16, our spirit bear witness with the spirit that we are the children of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Their spirit bear witness. They can agree with these scriptures. It says, and they shall set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And in verse 2, and it reads, matter of fact, I want to jump down to verse 5, because let me jump down to verse 5 real quick. No, 4. And it says that they shall take up this parable against the king of Babylon, these wicked rulers, and say, how had the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord Yahweh had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the ruler. We need saving from this wicked ruler. He who smote the people in wrath with continuous stroke. Every time you look around, you got this different pandemic. You got this different this, that, and another. You got different this and different that. You got different laws being passed for abominable behaviors, all kind of wickedness, man. Which wearing out the saints, harassing you day in and day out. It said, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hideth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedar of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. Everybody and everything is going to rejoice when these wicked rulers get put down. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostle, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.